Imagine walking through the forest with no tall ancestral trees in it, with only the stumps remaining in its base. This is the effect of clear-cut logging, a practice still in place today, in which every marketable tree is cut down from a selected area. Forestry companies prefer clear-cutting because it is the cheapest, most efficient way of harvesting timber. It is also much easier to move logs and equipment from a bare area than from among standing trees. So in this picture, it's two examples of a clear cut. The first one, the logs are kind of all chewed up a little bit, and the second one, the logs are just spread out. Okay. All my life, I've grown up around forestry practices through my dad, and throughout the years have become very knowledgeable in the subject. Clear-cut logging has very negative outcomes, and negatively affects small mammals, animal habitats, and the fish population in streams. Now that you know a little about clear-cut logging, I'm now going to explain the negative impacts of this practice. Small mammals are greatly affected by clear-cut logging. In the article Response of Small Mammals to Clear-Cutting and Pre-Commercial Thinning in Mixed Forests of Southeastern Quebec, it showed the information generated from a study involving small mammals in clear-cut forests. The survey concluded that the number of small mammals were lower in these areas, and that this practice should be eliminated due to this conclusion. Clear-cut logging affects diversity in the forest, and its long-term effects are detrimental. Small mammals are the consumers of plants, lichens, fungi, and invertebrates, and they are the dispersers of seeds and spores. The habitat and food source of these mammals is not eradicated when a forest is clear-cut. In turn, clear-cutting affects more than just the mammal, but also the well-being of the forest. Among forestry practices, clear-cutting has a huge impact on the entire ecosystem in various ways, according to the Wildlife Biology Journal. And here's another example of a clear cut. As you can see, all the trees in a significant area is just wiped out, which is pretty scary to see. So Keenan and chemists define clear cutting as removal of the forest influence in a habitat, as you can see from that picture. Habitat conditions such as microclimate, soil properties, nutrient cycling, and plant community change when a forest disappears. Removing forest cover negatively affects the inhabitants of a forest and makes the smaller mammals left in an area fully exposed to their predators. Thorne reported that a clear-cut area could not provide sufficient vegetative cover for the snowshoe hare, which resulted in a decrease in hare abundance. Thinking in just a logical sense, if you take all the trees out of a plot of land, you're removing something not supposed to be there. Growing up among the tall, expansive redwood trees in Northern California, imagining those all being cut down for harvesting is quite sad. I have seen plots of land firsthand where clear cutting has been done, and the areas are just never the same. The vegetation changes, and although trees often get replanted, the natural diversities of the original trees is lost. Among those trees were habitats of animals such as the spotted owl, which would nest in those trees. The effects of clear-cutting logging expand to streams as well. In this picture, you can see an extremely damaged stream, probably not habitable for fish due to all the sediment and just buildup in the creek bed. According to the Canadian Journal of the Forest Research, logging practices that do not retain buffer strips have been shown to lead to increases in sediment delivery into streams. What this means is leaving a strip of trees next to a creek for coverage and shade. This can be a result of clear-cut logging, but mostly depends on the timber harvest plan put into place by a given logging company. J.M. Redding stated that high levels of suspended sediment have been reported as being stressful to fish, which is an end result of leaving up the buffer of trees. The overall trend of the study taken by the Canadian Journal of Forest Research was that there was a reduction of approximately 30% in the total available pool habitat in the log streams compared relative to those with old growth trees. So this is most likely a result of a clear cut. I mean, from the picture it looks like it's not, but those clear cuts, they don't have that buffer of trees, they just eradicate all the trees. So that's why I brought that up in the speech. In high school, I helped my dad out with the timber harvest plan, that left a 193-foot buffer of trees on each side of the creek bed. In an ideal logging scenario, this is a good buffer to have a happy and healthy fish population. Some may claim that there are positive side effects to clear-cut logging. There are specific cases in which clear-cutting can be beneficial. For example, if you are growing trees that need to grow in direct sunlight, you need to cut down the trees in that area in order for them to grow. According to a registered professional forester, he stated that if one had 100 acres and you would clear-cut 1 acre per year for 100 years, that would be a method of sustainable clear-cutting. This not only would make for productive business, but also a productive forest. Another benefit of clear-cutting would be the case of wood rats. Wood rats, which are the main source of food for owls, thrive in open spaces, which would increase the food source for owls and then increasing the owl population. These are all positive outcomes of clear-cutting, but the costs outweigh the benefits. Overall, clear-cutting is detrimental to our forests and should not be a practice we use today. There are many harsh effects of clear-cut logging that do not gain enough awareness. From small mammals in their habitats to the fish in the streams, clear-cutting is very detrimental. If you are looking to take action, you can visit the Sierra Club website, where there are links to stay up to date on their quarterly newsletter, a place to gather signatures on a petition to Governor Brown, and a link to write letters to change public opinion revolving clear-cutting. A healthy forest is a mosaic of openings. Help protect our forests, not destroy them.